The images of armed men, often in civilian clothes or military attire, descending on homes especially of opposition politicians or activists have become familiar in Uganda's political landscape. The latest victim is former Kampala Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago, who was forcibly removed from his residence by heavily armed operatives on Monday morning. For many observers, the incident is not isolated. On the 28th of December 2021, writer and human rights activist Kakwenza Rukirabasaija was produced before Buganda Road Court and remanded to Kitalia Prison until the 21st of January 2022 after he pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of offensive communication. This came after days without his family or lawyers knowing his whereabouts. Once he was granted bail, he decried what he called torture by security personnel who had held him. In March 2022, through his lawyers Kiza and Mugisha Advocates, Kakwenza filed a case in the East African Court of Justice seeking compensation for what he called torture and illegal detention meted out against him. In March this year, questions were also raised when security operatives stormed the home of activist Norman Tumihimbise in an operation described by some stakeholders as excessive.
If the operation was official, then they are cowards. Because you can't put on a pistol these young girls trying to ask. Even they asked about the way to the ceiling. So this is people's army.
Over the years, numerous supporters of the National Unity Platform have reported being abducted by unidentified security operatives held incommunicado, with some later only appearing in court, one of these being Eddie Mutwe, who was the party president Robert Chagulanyi's bodyguard. In October last year, 2 Kenyan activists, Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo, were taken by security operatives and held incommunicado for over a month before being released without charge. While initially security had denied knowledge of their whereabouts, President Museveni came out revealing where they were.
They had come to train our people. Of course, with our very good intelligence system, we picked them up. And they have been in the fridge for some days.
In December 2025, Masaka Catholic priest Father Deusdedit Sekabira was taken by men in army uniform, prompting condemnation from religious leaders and Christians who launched nationwide prayers for his release. He only appeared after some time in court and charged with money laundering. In January this year, security operatives raided the homes of 2 deputy presidents of the National Unity Platform for Northern and Western Uganda, Dr. Lina Zedriga and Jacqueline Tukamushaba. For weeks, relatives and NUP leaders did not know their whereabouts until they both appeared in court on the 6th of February in Gulu and Ndora, respectively. While others have appeared in court or released without any charge, some other citizens like Sam Mugumya, a former personal assistant to Dr. Kanukiza Besje, who was taken on the 26th of August 2025 from a hotel in Nyamitanga, Mbarara, has not been cited to date or his whereabouts known. The latest incident involving former Kampala mayor and lawyer to Dr. Besje, Erias Lukwago, has renewed concerns among rights advocates who argue that the repeated use of military-style operations against civilians points to a troubling trend.
But the fact that we continue to witness these arbitrary arrests, arbitrary detentions, indicates that there seems not to be a serious commitment of government to the question of human rights.
Sewanyana warns that the growing use of force by security agencies reflects a dangerous culture of impunity.
Why is government silent about these arbitrary arrests, detentions, and sometimes abuse that goes beyond reason? So as Ugandans, we need also to be mindful that it is very possible that this abuse that continues to find room in every aspect of our lives will one day cause mayhem.
Human rights defenders say the recurring incidents appear designed to instill fear among opposition supporters, lawyers and activists, while security agencies maintain that their actions are intended to preserve public order and national security.
A sense of fear among those who have stood up against abuse. A sense of fear among lawyers, among opposition activists, among human rights defenders, and also a strong feeling that they are untouchables, that they are people who cannot be touched by the law, who are not held responsible under the law and as such can act outside the law.
He argues that maintaining internal security is primarily the responsibility of the police and cautions against the increasing deployment of military tactics in civilian matters.
In our view, is not only unfortunate, arbitrary, but also augments our current thinking that there is a growing culture of impunity.
The Ghana Human Rights Commission says it is already engaging authorities over the latest incident, as Director, Complaints, Investigations and Legal Services, Pauline Nansamba, explains.
We have been engaging with authorities to better understand the circumstances around what happened. On our part, this is an ongoing intervention, so I would not like to comment so much, just to let the public know that we are engaging at the highest levels, and when we are in a position to give a clearer picture of what happened and what the circumstances are, we will be communicating that.
She adds that the law clearly outlines how arrests should be conducted.
To us, of course, there's the Police Act that provides that framework. We have the Criminal Procedure Code Act. We have the Magistrates Court Act. All of these laws provide for, actually, even a fellow civilian may, in certain circumstances, restrict someone if there is anticipation that a crime has been committed. But the preserve of arresting civilians rests with the police.
Despite criticism directed at state institutions, the Human Rights Commission insists it will continue speaking out.
But as a national human rights institution with a constitutional mandate that is clear, I would not say that we are afraid. I believe we have a mandate to speak out on any human rights issues and advise on how better we can ensure that we have rule of law and due process in the country.
Religious leaders like Pastor Martin Tempa have also joined the conversation.
In a country that is on the rule of law, this should not be happening.
He emphasizes the importance of respect for constitutional rights and adherence to the rule of law.
Currently, there is a violation of the rule of law. There is a removal of human dignity, a violation of human rights of what we see.
Although government and security officials have previously defended such operations as necessary for maintaining law and order, concerns over legality, accountability and respect for constitutional rights continue to be raised by rights groups and opposition leaders. I'm Benjamin Jumbe, NTV Tonight.